The 10-Year War, Woody versus Bo, is being brought to you by Bank One. Get a fair interest rate and $150 cash when you finance your new car through Bank One. By Genesee Beer, come on up. By the Imke Dealers, get in the winner's circle at a Len Imke dealership. And by the Ohio Company.
Hello, I'm Lee Velicities.
And I'm Karen Kornacki.
For the 10 years between 1969 and 1978, something very special happened in this stadium in Columbus, Ohio, and in the Giant Bowl up north in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The Ohio State Buckeyes met the Michigan Wolverines in some of the greatest college football games ever played.
And what made these contests even more memorable was the coaching matchup, the tough-minded Buckeye legend Woody Hayes and his disciple-turned-adversary, Bo Schembechler.
Now, these were years of triumph and disappointment, controversy and criticism. Hundreds of players took part. Big Ten titles were won and lost. But in the end, the real contest was Woody versus Bo. In 1969, they were asking questions. And an Ohio boy sent home some answers. Hair was long, skirts were short, drugs were in, and cash was out. There was fighting in a distant land, but we never forgot how to laugh. In the fall of 1969, the Ohio State juggernaut invaded Ann Arbor, expecting to clear the last obstacle to another Big Ten championship.
That team probably was the greatest football team that Woody ever had. Geez, it had no weakness.
But they beat the greatest team that ever stepped on a college football field. I don't think there's any question what our '69 team, and I don't say that with bias, we were so far ahead in the national polls when we went up there that it wasn't even close.
I think that we were fortunate to catch them at a time when everybody was hailing them as the greatest collegiate team of all times. And there's an old saying that I learned from the coach at Ohio State. And that was that when people start saying a lot of nice things about you, look out.
We'd won too many, and it's easy to get soft. And as hard as you talk to them, they still think they can, well, nobody had come within 4 touchdowns all year of them. And it's hard to convince guys. And Bo, of course, had lost a couple of ball games to just not too good of football teams. And it looked like we were a shoo-in, but we weren't. And that's the way football goes.
When we took the field the first time, Jim Mandich was my captain, and Woody was warming up on our side of the field. And I knew that wasn't his first time in Michigan Stadium. So I think what happened was the players were kind of testing me. Hey, Bo, Ohio State's warming up on our side of the field. So I went out and told Woody, I said, Woody, you're on the wrong side of the field. You're supposed to be down there. He says, okay, we'll go down there. And he waved his troops on. Well, when that happened, of course, that stimulated a lot of enthusiasm in the tunnel for our team.
We were trying to psych one another. Sure, he's not above that, nor am I.
The Buckeyes started out well with a Jim Otis touchdown in the first quarter for a 6-0 lead. But soon the Wolverines were in the lead as Garvey Craw dove over left guard from the 3-yard line. On Ohio State's next possession, the Buckeyes marched 74 yards, capping the drive on this 22-yard TD pass to Jan White. Again, the conversion was no good. Ohio State 12, Michigan 7. Neither defense seemed able to hold as Michigan marched to another touchdown highlighted by Billy Taylor's 28-yard draw play. Craw's second touchdown made it 14-12. Then the key play of the ball game. Buckeye Mike Sensabaugh punts to Barry Pearson, and the Wolverine defensive back returns the ball 60 yards to the OSU 3-yard line. Two plays later, Don Moorhead scored and Michigan led 21-12. A field goal before the half made it 24-12 Michigan.
From the middle of the season on, we were blowing out every team we played. by 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. We were an explosive, excellent football team.
We scored first, but we didn't stay ahead, and they returned the punt down about the 5-yard line, went in from there, and they had 24 points at the end of the half. Now, that's not like us. We had 12. And the second half, he played smart ball. He played for a stalemate, and that's exactly what happened. The game ended up that way.
The second half was dominated by the defenses. Ohio State, a great running team, was forced to pass to get back into the ball game. And before the day was over, Michigan defensive backs would pick off 6 passes, 4 from the great All-American Rex Kern.
We played to stop Kern. We felt that he would hurt us more than the fullback and tailback.
My big mistake, I never should have had him in the ball game, because he couldn't even walk when he got up Saturday morning. He was that bad from the day before. And I should have started Masajowski, who was a doggone good quarterback. But Rex, I think, had 4 interceptions. Well, that wasn't any more like Rex than anything in the world. Although Michigan was a good pass defense team, they weren't that good.
We knew we had a great chance to win. I honestly felt going into that game, we beat them.
Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't...
1970 was the year of the transistor and the resistor. Butch and Sundance had the big picture. There was name calling, strike calling, mission recalling, musical heights, more rights, jumbo flights, a new focus of attention, and tragic dissension. In Columbus, the championship was at stake again, and revenge was very much a factor.
I would say that following the '69 game, the tempo of the series was set. I mean, it was going to be the game.
We started talking about them, and we started doing this. See, they had an announcer up there that sort of made fun of one of our Polish kids, their quarterback, Masajowski, mispronounced it and laughed. We put that in the locker room. He had a quarterback. He had a quarterback who had, when Kay Kessler was up there, and Kay asked him, who comes from Ohio to Michigan? See, this kid was from Massillon. Well, he says, only the good ones. So we'd stick that on the board, only the good ones. We finally got all we'd have to say is only. And our kids got the point, but you're always trying to ruffle things up a little bit.
And ruffle things up he did as the fired-up Buckeyes forced a Michigan fumble on the opening kickoff.
What kind of feeling did you have when Ohio State recovered that opening kickoff?
Yes, well, that gave some indication about what was going to happen that day.
Here we'd been beaten the year before, and here we had a senior ball club that as sophomores had won the Rose Bowl before Bo got there, an undefeated season, and then were undefeated the next year, and Bo beat them. So that's all you really needed there. If anything, you had to make sure the kids didn't get ready too early. And so that week was a very intense week, but I don't think we worked very rough. As I remember, we didn't work rough at all, didn't have to. What we did in that 70 game, we made a blocking adjustment, and it was perfect. It was perfect. I don't like to use that term, but it was perfect. We ran a single given play for 25 times, and we gained almost all of our yardage on that play. And we anticipated, when we started hurting them with it, how they'd change. And we were ready for their change. And then they changed again. We were ready for the next change. And then they changed a 4th time. And we were ready for the 4th change. And all this had to be done within a 20th of a second. There's one fella, the right guard, and if we run it to the left guard, had to read this defense, and he had about a 20th of a second to do it.
The game plan worked to perfection. A tough Buckeye ground offense and a rugged defense forged a 10-3 halftime lead. The only touchdown coming on a 26-yard pass from Rex Kern to Bruce Jankowski. Things got tighter in the second half. A short Ohio State punt early in the 3rd period gave Michigan good field position, and 13 plays later, Don Moorhead hit Paul Staroba in the end zone. The point-after attempt was blocked, and it was OSU 10, Michigan 9. A 4th period Schramm field goal made it 13-9. And then a key play by Buckeye linebacker Stan White. An interception at the Michigan 23 returned all the way to the 9. 3 plays later, Kern pitched to Hayden, and the Fleet halfback won the race to the end zone for the final score of the game. Woody had his revenge, 20-9.
Ohio State legitimately won the game. That is the one game in the 10 games that I played against Woody where I felt that without question, Ohio State was the better team.
Actually, Woody says the 1970 game is the greatest game of the decade.
I'm going to tell you this. If you ask any coach about the greatest game of the decade, it's going to be one he played and won, no matter how you add it up.